We've had one round of sleet and snow, but we have another one moving in later on tonight. Those details here in a bit.
Plus, we'll have the latest on road conditions.
School districts are canceling classes while others are going virtual. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with the criteria that districts follow to make these decisions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Large amounts of sleet make for poor road conditions in the 4 states, and more is on the way. This is the KOAM News at 6. I'm Danny Terzer. Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at the weather.
Hey, thanks, Danny. And yeah, we had about a 3 to 4 hour period. We got absolutely hammered with sleet and snow earlier today. We had some thunder sleet, thunder snow, which I get super excited about, but the roads do not. The roads went bad very quickly. Our temperatures have been into the 20s for the last 24 hours, so anything that fell caused some major issues. Still, winter storm warning along and south of I-44. All the purple counties, which include most of us, are under a winter weather advisory. All this is out of here. So we have this huge batch that rolled through. The heaviest was out by about 2 or 3 o'clock. Now we look okay, but we are going to see a little bit of freezing drizzle trying to pick up as we go through the evening hours. So you want to watch out for that as well. But eventually down through north central Texas, another band will develop and head toward us later on tonight. Temperatures cold. We're sitting into the mid-teens. We may actually rise a little bit as we head toward dawn. And it's windy. We got these north winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Through the evening hours, we kind of hold steady and then we rise. But check this out, after 10 p.m., we start to get some light sleet and snow back in. I'm going to break that down for you here in just a bit.
When the weather changes as quickly as it has over the past couple of days, our school districts have some tough decisions to make. And deciding to cancel in-person classes can be even more difficult when debating between going virtual or taking it as a snow day. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky explains how those decisions are made.
Wednesday's wintry weather didn't come in full effect until a few hours after what would have been a normal school day. But many area superintendents made the decision early Wednesday morning to have students stay home. While some had an AMI day, others had a snow day. It all comes down to the numbers.
So AMI is an alternative method of instruction, and it is approved by our State Department that we're allowed to have up to 36 hours of AMI in a school year. And so different districts take different approaches. There is a minimum 1,044 student hours that you have to have in the state of Missouri for a school year.
The Joplin School District used the weather as an AMI day so students wouldn't miss out on anything. The third of 5 they can take per year.
So we are on our 3rd AMI day. We have 2 more after today that we could utilize. And, different activities with students from home that they will complete and turn into their teachers for credit for their learning.
In McDonald County, they've used many of their AMI days amid COVID spreads.
A couple of AMI days were used for the weather. The others were also used for when COVID had the spike, and many of our staff and students had been sick. We used those AMI days to make up for some of those days that we didn't go to school.
Now they're using Wednesday's weather as a snow day, meaning eventually it would need to be made up.
The administration will look at the calendar and figure out the best way on how to make these days up. And they'll look at the days that we have left and try to figure that out.
In the end, it's all about the best way to keep students and staff safe. In Joplin, in McDonald County, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Many area administrators attended a conference call early this morning with the National Weather Service to discuss the best course of action amid this inclement weather. This wintry weather is creating some issues for people on the roads. KOAM's Shannon Becker has more on road conditions in Joplin.
Yeah, thanks. As we're taking a look at the roads, some of the major roads, good news is a little bit more clear as the MoDOT crews have been able to catch up. And also the City of Joplin crews, we're here at 19th and South Main Street. On the way here, East 15th, still pretty snow covered, but let's take a look at these MoDOT cameras on the interstate. I-44 at South Main Street. A little bit of water or something there on the camera, but you can see the road a lot more clear, obviously, and traffic seems to be moving a lot faster. South Range line. And then if you go a little bit further, the Terra Motel, exit 15. These are all traffic cameras available on the MoDOT Travelers app. And then at Carthage, 249 interchange with Highway 59. And don't forget, we'll have another wave of precipitation overnight. But this is good news as we head into the evening. We'll keep our eye on the roads for you. At 19th and Main in Joplin, I'm Shannon Becker for KOAM TV 7.
The Missouri House has endorsed legislation that could expand the number of school personnel allowed to carry guns. Current law lets teachers and administrators undergo training to function as school protection officers. A bill endorsed by voice vote in the House would expand that to any school personnel. That means custodians, cooks, and maintenance staff also could be trained to carry guns as school protection officers. The bill needs another House vote to advance to the Senate. As of late August, there were 42 school staff across the state who had undergone training as protection officers. Officials with the Freeman Health System say they are only caring for 10 COVID patients currently. Earlier this month, they had 50 patients. With these numbers declining, we asked Freeman what their plans were for the COVID unit. Officials say it will stay open for now, but could eventually transition to just an isolation unit.
I mean, hopefully I'd like to chisel the word COVID off of it. And, there are a lot of other diseases that involve isolation. Tuberculosis is still present in this population. I'm dealing with, somewhere between 3 and 10 tuberculosis patients every year.
We have bed capacity.
Officials also say they are reconsidering their visitors policy, but no decisions have been made yet. Still ahead, we'll look at 2 events putting tech and science in the spotlight in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh organizations and companies are working to move towards the city's tech future. The Kansas Board of Regents recently approved a new computer science major for Pitt State, and today, the college, along with Limelight Marketing, kicked off a new monthly meeting of computer programmers called SEK Dev Connect.
For the university, it's really important because there is a lot of student demand around computer science right now. These jobs pay well. You can work them remotely all over the country, pretty much any industry, and so we've seen a lot of student demand due to that.
Today's meeting was hosted in the community room of Block 22. Science was the focus of a meeting at the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. Kate Beers from the National Institute of Standard and Technology spoke to high school students from Pittsburgh and Columbus.
I hope they get the idea that anybody can do this, that it doesn't take any kind of special access or upbringing. It's not because my I love my parents, but it's not because they were particularly special or gave me access in a way that other people didn't. Anybody from any background can have the opportunity through STEM careers to do lots of interesting things.
Beers will also speak to PSU students in the Plastics Engineering Technology and Polymer Chemistry program. Later, KU dominated the latest edition of the Sunflower Showdown. Jacob Leonard has post-game reaction in sports.
Plus, we have another round of sleet, which is going to roll in. We're going to take a look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a nasty day for us today. We had the sleet mixed in with snow really pick up 9-10 o'clock in the morning. Most of the areas that got sleet picked up a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of sleet. That is a lot of ice. And then the areas that had snow mixed in, you had amounts anywhere from 1 upwards to about 3 inches, just depending on how much snow you had mixed in. But all the roads have been pretty bad. They've improved a little bit over the past couple hours just because the precip has cut off, but we are going to get another round rolling in late tonight into tomorrow. All right, winter storm warnings continue. This is along and south of I-44, all the pink counties. In the purple, which includes most of the rest of us, winter weather advisories in effect for another round, which is going to roll in later on tonight. Look at this band. We had thunder, sleet, and snow, and then it cut off. So it didn't last very long. It only lasted about 3 hours, but it really came down in buckets earlier for us today. All this is pretty much gone. So right now we're dry. We have a little bit of snow which is spitting out there. It's not accumulating. I do think as we go through the evening hours, we'll start to get some light sleet, light freezing drizzle, which will start to pop up. Temperature is cold. Most of us are sitting into the mid-teens. That's where we have been all day long. These will actually start to rise a little bit toward dawn. We have these strong northerly winds, so this makes it feel colder than what it actually is. Northerly winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. But look at our temps. I mean, it's not much better, but at least we're going in the right direction. However, sleet starting to pick back up a little bit later on tonight. Here's the main wave rolling out of the southwestern parts of the U.S. So wave 1, wave 2, which is going to roll in. So we'll start to get it picking up north central parts of Texas. Already you can see it kind of increasing a little bit toward the south of Dallas, and then it will head toward us later on tonight. All right, let's go through time. Here's 11 p.m., some very light sleet across the region. Not accumulating. Here's 11 p.m. Let's go after midnight. So here's 3 o'clock in the morning. This is at the time we'll start to get light accumulating sleet picking up. You can see the pink kind of overtakes the region, gets a little bit heavier, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll have a pretty good batch all the way through about 9 or 10, and then it's out of here. I think after about 11 a.m., we just have light snow showers, not accumulating, but light snow showers kind of spitting across the region. Temperature is at least a little bit better for us tomorrow as we get into lower 20s. We start at 20 in the morning, 23 by noon, high temp right around 26 degrees. All right, so let's look at roads. Roads are bad right now. They may improve a little bit over the next couple hours, but in general, they stay bad all the way through midday tomorrow, and then they'll start to improve tomorrow afternoon. Here's our timeline for you. Very light moisture in the next few hours. After 3 a.m., it picks back up into the morning hours, and then we're done. Additional sleet and snow. It's hard to put amounts, especially if you get more snow than sleet, but we've had 3/4 of an inch in Joplin, an additional 1/2 inch to an inch of sleet. Pretty much what you have out there, you can double it, and that's what we're going to have for tomorrow. All right, 26 for tomorrow, 28 Friday. Above freezing on Friday, which is good. Look at next Wednesday, all the way up near 70 degrees. Not too shabby.
That's what I like to see. Probably a few days here where it's best to just lay low and stay inside.
Yeah, if you do have to be out, just be real careful.
Thanks, Doug. Jacob here now with sports. Pitt State basketball on the road tonight against Emporia State.
The Gorilla women already on the floor tonight against the Hornets, trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak. We'll check in on that one. Plus, the Missouri Southern women climb into the top 5 in the regional rankings. We'll have details on that after this. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are in the final week of the basketball regular season. Pitt State has 2 more games before the conference tournament, beginning tonight on the road against Emporia State. Now, the Gorillas trying to avoid a 3rd straight loss after dropping a pair of games to Southern last week. This one already started. PSU down just 1 at halftime. Tristan Gegg leads Pittsburgh State with 15 points. Corinna Gerber has 10. After the women finish up, Pitt State men hit the floor against the Hornets. The Gorillas coming off 2 straight wins against Missouri Southern, while Emporia State has won 3 of their last 4. That one is scheduled to tip off around 7:30. The Missouri Southern women are moving up the regional rankings. The Lions are up 2 spots to number 5 in the Central Regional rankings this week. The top 8 teams in each region after conference tournaments will make the NCAA Division II National Tournament. Southern is 20-5 overall. They've won 13 games in a row, and they're tied with Fort Hays State for first place in the MIAA. Division I ball here. The Kansas Jayhawks won the Sunflower Showdown last night over K-State 102-83. Ochai Agbaji scored 23 and passed Wilt Chamberlain on the program's all-time scoring list. Now, as a team, it's the second time KU has scored more than 100 points in a game this season. They also put up 102 back in December against Mizzou.
I think a win would have given us confidence and momentum regardless, but we played pretty well offensively. I mean, we were cooking there for a while, and K-State played pretty well offensively too. We couldn't stop them, and they couldn't stop us there for a stretch. But it was a good game. The game had more pace to it than probably any game we played this year.
The Pittsburgh State baseball team kicks off their MIAA schedule this weekend. The Gorillas hit the road to face Missouri Southern for their first conference series of the season beginning on Friday. Pittsburgh State has played 10 non-conference games this season. Right now, not really off to the start they'd like. They're 4-6 overall, but they are coming off a series win over Wayne State.
Well, we're not very good right now, so we got to get a lot better. Our pitching needs to throw more strikes and be more competitive in the zone. Offensively, I think we've been pretty good so far, but I think we can do better. So we got a lot of little things to work on. It's been tough. Look at the weather. We don't get to get out and practice. You play a day, it's 70, and it's 30 the next day, and you're inside. But everybody's dealing with it. We just got to continue to get better each and every day.
And they've always been a really good team. They can always hit. Their pitching's good, so it'll be a good competition this week.
That Pittsburgh State-Missouri Southern series is scheduled to begin on Friday at 3 p.m. in Joplin. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
We take time now to honor a local veteran. Sergeant Thelston Casey served in the U.S. Army. He's from Oswego, Kansas. And we're proud to salute Sergeant Thelston Casey, tonight's four-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on tonight on the KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The nation's capital is bracing for truckers who are hoping for an Ottawa-style blockade around Washington. Also a look at why carjackings across the country are spiking. And we'll check out the world's heaviest strawberry. That and much more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A warning, this next story is dangerously cute. It's about dogs on a hog meaning a Harley Davidson. That's right, videos of a pair of motorcycle riding mutts are going viral. Two chopper chihuahuas taking the internet by storm. Sean Logging reports.
Butters knows when it's time to ride, and Mama is already strapped in to go.
Oh yeah, every single time I go on the bike.
They even have little helmets for safety.
The helmets come right off, and luckily I got lucky enough that they ended up fitting their snouts. So some work did have to go into the helmets, like putting in another helmet in there and then creating a little nose shield. But yeah, they fit.
But Mama, Butters, and Jesus Carrasco aren't alone for this ride.
All the way across the world, Japan, China, the UK, Mexico, or even just some neighbors here in Wichita.
Jesus's two chihuahuas becoming quite the internet sensation. Their videos receiving millions of views on the social media app TikTok.
Back in 2020, we were all bored from coronavirus, and my dogs always went with us everywhere we went. So we started off with the Jeep, and they liked that.
While it's the cuteness of these pups that draw in the eyes, the motivation for this, Jesus says, was his girlfriend.
It was mostly her idea, then she convinced me to film it and then post it. So I got to give credit where credit is due.
So when his Harley revs up, often his dogs are there to accompany him, even on the simplest of journeys.
He was riding on the front. We went to Chick-fil-A because we were just trying to get something to eat.
If anything, it's a way to spend more time with man's best friend.
We just had a newborn baby, so right now they're all starved for attention.
As Carrasco's adventures continue, he says he would like to involve more of his family in the future. I'm sure those dogs really like the wind just blowing in their hair.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
My dog has had a really fun time playing in the sleet today. He's like jumping all around. So yeah, dogs like the outside too.
I bet.
All right, more sleet for us tonight. So this band won't be near as intense as the one we had today, but it's going to last longer. It's going to last about 6 hours instead of about 3 hours. So be careful. This really picks up late tonight into tomorrow morning, and then just kind of spitting snow showers tomorrow afternoon. High of only 26. We get above freezing by the weekend.
Final look at sports.
We told you Missouri Southern women moved up to number 5 in the Central Regional rankings. Of course, the top 8 make the national tournament. The last time Southern played in a Central Regional was 1996.
Whoa. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you right here back at 10.
Salon service is provided by the Wild